Hello, and welcome to the Mindset Alchemy podcast. I'm your host, Janine Kathleen, and I'm delighted to be here with you today. Mindset Alchemy is all about what can you add as a catalyst to your thoughts so that you can think better thinking feelings and allow yourself to create a far more aligned world and feeling. Because when we can step into doing this, we can create what we desire rather than disliking what we have. I love what Gabrielle Bernstein says in her cards when she says, "When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through a lens of love." Let me repeat that for you. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through a lens of love. Now, am I talking about love where you just let people get away with things, you practice people pleasing, you just go with what other people desire rather than what it is you desire and what your life is aligned with? Do you work with what is assigned to you, or do you step into the love of self, the love of source, where you work with what is aligned with you? Now, many times we get to work with what's assigned to us because that's what's going to give us an income. We may not enjoy it, and it's when we make the decision to be grateful for it that we are able to step beyond this. Working with women who lead teams, who allow themselves to lead themselves, has brought me a much deeper understanding of the true essence of love, not just as a vibrational feeling and energy, but as a place where boundaries are important. Understanding that we make time for ourselves, we learn to know who we are, and we allow ourselves to step forward in our power because this is love. This also creates space for other people to do the same thing. Because remember, when we are working towards something, when we are healing, people will literally come and they will do things to irritate us. They will do things to spark thoughts within us, not because they wish to be malicious. The universe loves us enough to bring people forward that will show us where we are to grow, what change looks and feels like for us, and where we can step forward in a greater degree of love of ourselves. Because when we choose to step forward in love of ourselves at a deeper and deeper level and a wider and wider bucket to hold that love, we get to be able to hold love from others, love from the universe, love from source, love from infinite possibilities. Janine, what does infinite possibilities have to do with love? Quite a lot, because infinite possibilities are when we step forward and say, I choose me. I choose what is aligned with me, not what is assigned to me, not what other people believe I should be doing and having. That is karmic truth. When we work with what other people assign to us, and karmic energy is when we take it on and start creating our life around it. Karmic debt is something completely different, and we will go into that in another episode. The bottom line here is, what are your beliefs around love as a vibration, as an action, and as an emotion? The important thing here is to sit down and ask, what does love look like for me? What does it feel like for me? Is it happiness? Is it being resolute? Is it being creative and expansive? Is it allowing joy in so that I am able to have a greater consciousness and awareness of what's happening? You know, that fleeting thought that whizzes through your brain that you go, oh, darn it, I wish I could remember that. Well, before it whizzes away next time, stick a pin in its tail or grab it, and don't let it disappear like that. Choose to keep it. Choose to ask it to return, because very often that is the awareness of what we are actually meant to be creating, that our resistance is allowing to disappear. Two switch words that I love using are resistance, release, release, resistance, resistance, release. Because what that does is it opens ourselves up to allow our cells to vibrate at a much faster space and pace. This lifts our vibration, increases the frequency of our cellular movement, and this brings lightness and light to our body, to our life, and to who we be. I was speaking with somebody the other day, and one of the things I use from a modality called Access Consciousness is, does something feel light and does it feel heavy? Very often when it's light, it's a truth. When it's heavy, it's an untruth. Because literally our body's cells come together and the light of our cells go out when something is a truth, and we feel heavy, we feel demotivated, we feel down and depressed. Whereas when something is aligned with us and it's in creation, helps us to get into creation, our cells vibrate at a much, much higher frequency and literally emit light. Have you ever heard the phrase that somebody's glowing? Well, they're glowing because they're in alignment, they're in joy, they're in happiness, and their cells are vibrating at a much higher frequency, emitting a light that causes them to glow. How does it get any better than this? And we were discussing, we had a misunderstanding around what light meant and what heavy meant. And once we clarified this, they see it as a clarity, as a clearness, as an deeper understanding. So it's to find out what it is for you. Again, I love switch words, and the switch word truth helps us. So when we ask, is this a truth? Is this aligned with me? Truth, is this aligned for another? And truth, is this a lie for me? You will very soon start getting the answers and come to understand that this is walking in love. This is focusing on that beautiful inner light and seeing the world through a lens of love, because it allows us to see what is true for us, what is true for somebody else that is not our truth, and allow it. No judgment, just an understanding of that's who they are and that's who they be. We then go to explore, are they showing us who we are and who we be, and releasing them from this obligation by choosing to change, to grow, and to expand. I would love to hear what resonates for you here and what comes forward for you. Let me know. And also reach out if you'd like to know how you can learn to lead yourself more effectively so that you can lead your world, the teams you work with, your family, and to own that beautiful and incredible power of you as you step forward with that inner light shining and seeing the world through a lens of love. Thank you for joining me, and I would appreciate it if you could share this message out and let us shine a much brighter light in the world. Have a grand and glorious day, and I'll see you around social media. Bye.